This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Got a lot of big things to report on today. President Biden just signed a new executive order. We'll go over this article. New stimulus checks still owed to thousands of people. Get yours before Christmas. Chuck Schumer just gave an announcement for the timeline of the Build Back Better bill and announced that a vote is going to happen today to raise the debt ceiling. I'll play a video clip of exactly what he said, and I'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So President Biden signs executive order to improve customer experience when accessing government services. So nothing too special here, but Monday he signed an executive order seeking to streamline and modernize a vast array of government services that directly affect Americans, such as claiming retirement benefits, renewing passports, and filing taxes. I wonder if the DMV is included in there because those lines are way too long. Chuck Schumer has said that the Senate will vote to raise debt ceiling Tuesday, which is today. So we'll see what happens with the debt ceiling vote. That could be one less crisis that we have to worry about. He also spoke about the timeline for the Build Back Better bill, still sticking to it. Here's what Chuck Schumer has to say about that.
Senate Democrats are working with President Biden to expand the possibilities of who can and who should serve as a judge in this country, and we will keep working. Now on other Senate business and Build Back Better. In addition to making progress on nominees, the Senate's been doing the hard work of putting ourselves in position to finish our other high-level priorities for the rest of the year. Last week, we advanced bipartisan legislation that will enable this chamber to address the debt ceiling on a fast-track basis. For the information of all, the Senate will act tomorrow to prevent default. The Senate will act tomorrow to prevent default. The Senate could also begin processing the annual defense authorization bill, negotiated on a bipartisan, bicameral basis as early as tomorrow. Between now and the end of the year, members should also expect we'll hold votes to confirm even more of the president's nominees. And on a parallel track, the Senate's moving forward on the reconciliation process so we can vote on President Biden's Build Back Better Act before the Christmas holiday. Committees that received reconciliation instructions have been submitting their final text to the parliamentarian, the Congressional Budget Office, and to our Republican counterparts. Throughout the week, both Republicans and Democrats will hold bipartisan birdbath meetings with the parliamentarian. Meanwhile, I will also continue to meet with my colleagues, and I know the President will also continue discussions with them as we hammer out the final details of Build Back Better. This remains a laborious process, requiring a lot of precision and a lot of pieces moving together. I want to thank my colleagues and their staff, and especially the parliamentarian and her team, for their dedication and focus as we approach a vote on the floor. The work is not yet finished, but we're working hard to put the Senate in a position to get the legislation across the finish line before Christmas. I yield the floor.
So Chuck Schumer still sticking firm to the December 25th Christmas deadline for the Build Back Better bill. Let me know your thoughts on that. Is it going to happen? Not going to happen? I remember once upon a time there was a June 7th deadline for the Build Back Better bill, and here we are. So Democrats brace for Build Back Better delay into 2022. So some Democrats are saying that that might happen. So what they're saying here is Chairman Ron Wyden said, of course, there are economic issues with respect to going from one year to another. Wyden said the bill must be passed no later than December 28th in order for January federal support checks to be mailed to Americans, saying there are challenges if this goes to next year, according to Ben Cardin, and some are preparing for it to happen for next year. Joe Manchin said that anything is possible when he had his meeting with President Biden earlier, saying that anything's possible, that it could happen before December 25th or within 2021. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to happen this year, next year? It's been kind of crazy. Anyways, here is a video clip from the Republicans' perspective about the CBO score and the Build Back Better bill and how it may not be the best thing for Americans.
Well, again, Joe Biden called the CBO the gold standard of budget scoring a while back, but now they're all singing a different tune. Democrats saying it's fake. Joining me now to talk about this and some other things, we welcome Arkansas Senator John Boozman. Senator Boozman, welcome, sir. Just, I found this memo from Secretary Secretary Janet Yellen, sorry, and she says explicitly, I quoted it in the first block, explicitly that the Biden plan was always to be permanent, but that they made some things temporary in order to achieve consensus. Now, if that isn't truth-telling inadvertently, then the CBO has the story exactly right. They knew what they were doing, Senator Boozman. They knew exactly what they were doing with these gimmicks, and basically the CBO called them on it and got it right.
No, you're exactly right. You could go down and listen to the congressional testimony, the debate as they've talked about these things, and they've always said that they wanted to get these things permanent. As you know, the gimmick is that you have the pay for over 10 years for the entitlement that lasts only a year. So it's absolutely crazy. I think we need to give Lindsey Graham a big thanks, the ranking member on the Budget Committee. He did a great job of really pressing CBO to score this. And it's not just CBO, Larry. As you know, there's been a couple outside groups, Wharton School of Business. They came out. Theirs was very much the same thing as CBO found.
So I don't, on the floor, you got, what do you got, 2 weeks till Christmas or some such. How can these arguments from the Democrats that this scoring is fake, to use one phrase, how can it hold up? I mean, everybody knew it was the worst kept secret in town, Senator. That's what I'm saying. In other words, there are things that are legitimately up for debate. I get that, I've been in and out of that game for quite some time. But this thing, it's like the worst kept secret in Washington was these gimmicks. And the CBO just called on them. And a few years ago, Biden himself called the CBO the gold standard. I mean, I'm pressing the point because there's so much baloney. And this is one of the reasons why Joe Biden's polls are crashing, including his polls, Senator, on honesty, okay? People think this is dishonest, which it is.
Well, I think what happened was Joe Manchin said, look, I want a bill that comes in at about $1.5 trillion, around that range. And so somebody at some point said, okay, we've got to do this. And then they crafted this bill using the smoke and mirrors to get in theoretically by using the gimmicks and this and that so that they were in that range to try and get a vote out of Senator Manchin. The problem they've got is that even he has come out and said, look, this is not right. CBO is saying this. These other outside entities are scoring in the same way. And so because of that, they've got a real problem in selling to the public. I think you're exactly right. I think that's why President Biden has unprecedented low poll numbers right now.
Yeah, and I think Joe Manchin, I don't know, at least in West Virginia, has very high poll numbers because he's been a truth teller and he's been consistent. Senator
He's a square shooter.
Pardon? Yes, he is. Yes, right.
The only thing I would say is that, it's really remarkable. It seems like yesterday, and myself and several other senators would come over to the White House. President Trump would be sitting across from us. You would be right to his right with your team. And we were talking about cutting taxes, having cut taxes. We were talking about reducing regulation and had the best economy in 50 years. Now we're talking about 6.8% inflation. And when I go home, I thought it was really interesting as you were visiting with the panel. When I go home, the business people are talking about labor. They're talking about supply chains, things like that. The regular man on the street is talking about inflation. The fact that his food is going up dramatically, his gasoline. He knows he's going to be colder this winter because of a 30 to 35% increase in heating. Those are the things that the American public care about. Nobody's asking me to get a check.
Interesting. That, by the way, is one of the polls that Liz Peek cited. The check stuff last spring didn't really work. It didn't really take. And that includes, by the way, the child care allowance, which is essentially just a direct funding. Didn't really take. Let me ask you in Arkansas.
I'm not so sure that many Americans agree with that last statement that those stimulus checks didn't work, or whatever his wording was, or the child allowance didn't work. I think those helped a lot of families. I just think that a lot of people just wanted a little more to help out with rent, utilities, food, especially people on fixed income. I think those stimulus checks helped out a lot of people. But let me know your thoughts. Did it not help out people, according to what Larry Kudlow said? Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, let's get into some stimulus check news. So stimulus payments arrive Wednesday. Here's how much and the future payments. So these are the child tax credits coming tomorrow. $300 or $250 per kid. If you've had these in the past, you already know the deal. A lot of you have received the direct deposits already a few days ago, as early as I think December 12th. Some people have said that they've got it in their bank account. Checks are going to take probably an extra couple of weeks, maybe late December for a check if you're expecting the child tax credit check. And then you're going to get the other half in January or when you file your taxes in 2022. So if you got, if you have a kid 6 and older, then you're going to get an extra $1,500 one lump sum in 2022, and then $1,800 if you have a kid 5 and under. So when it comes to the fourth stimulus check petition, $2,000 per month to every American, currently at 2,981,000 signatures. Do you think it's going to get 3 million before the end of the year? I don't know, kind of moving slow. Also, this one right here, new stimulus checks still owed to thousands of people. Get yours before Christmas. So I've mentioned this before. This is for Maryland. So if you live in Maryland, you could get up to a $500 stimulus check. So $300 for individuals, $500 for families. And there is a number to call to get that stimulus check if you didn't receive it. It's 1-800-MD-TAXES. So that's the number you would call to try to get the correct address or make sure that you didn't fall through the cracks and you didn't receive that Maryland stimulus check. And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should really use. If you're like the pool or something and like you get hurt or something, you should just try your best, because sometimes that happens to me too, and it's not really fun. But if you got hurt like that one time, I'm sure you could deal with it, and you can be strong and powerful like how you are. So, bye! Hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much for watching. So here's some more video clips of the kids. We're getting ready for the holidays, getting all prepared, trying to get as much done as possible. Hopefully your holidays are going well, kind of meeting up with friends and family and stuff. Anyways, if you want to check out my latest video on my new channel, you could click this link up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.